asking questions about our Kitchen Splashback and what it is, where we got it, and so on and so forth. So I thought this isn't going to be a tutorial video, but a really quick of how we did it. So our Kitchen Splashback, it was made by us, by me and James. It was a DIY, and it's actually from old magazines. In particular, every sort of tile here comes from an Irish magazine called Stellar. So basically what happened was, when we moved into the house, we only got these tiles. See, there's a single line of grey tiles along the base of our kitchen. And so we did have sort of like a darker tiled splashback on the kitchen for a while, but it was really dark and we didn't like it, so we had that removed. And at the time we had absolutely zero money for you know, a tiler or even tiles or anything like that. But I had this massive stack of Stellar magazines that came up to my waist. I had started buying the magazine almost from its first copy and never threw out a copy because I loved it so much. It's an amazing magazine. But it was getting to the stage where I had nowhere to put the magazines and I wasn't rereading them, and I just didn't want to throw them all out. So I got this idea of creating a splashback using the magazine. So what I did was, using the grey tile that was already here, I took measurements of it and created like a sort of a cardboard template square of the measurements. What's wrong, buddy? Oh, do you want to go out? I know it's raining, sweetheart. I don't think you're going to want to go out. So, sorry, as I was saying, I got a cardboard template of the square tile that was already here, and I started to cut out hundreds and hundreds of sort of tiles from the magazine using the most colorful pages. So first off, I don't actually have a Stellar at the moment because it's I've lent it to a friend, the current edition. So what you can see here, this is another magazine. So we'd go to pages that was like high color, less sort of like article space, and we'd cut the squares out from that. And we did that, you know, to most of the magazines. We'd sort of pull out the pages and cut them up. And then what we did was we sort of took the, I suppose the better ones, the ones that we liked most, and put those to one side. Then to prep the back of the area, we sanded it all down really lightly. We painted it up with a white paint so that we'd get this kind of grout effect. And then so we'd know specifically where to place the tiles, we sort of, using the grout that existed in the grey tiles that was there, we drew pencil lines the whole way up, leaving sort of probably like a half a centimetre between each one to get this grey effect. So if you look really closely here, in parts you can actually see the pencil grid. And then what we did was we got like a Mod Podge, so a mixture of water and sort of like a high adhesive glue. We used a wood glue. We mixed that all together to create like sort of a light glue solution. And we basically just painted the back of the magazine tile and started to stick them out. We started to randomly place kind of ones that we really liked and then sort of match that up with other colours to kind of give us this kind of, I don't want to say it's like a good selection of colour, but it's sort of like, you know, they all kind of blend and match together as well. Once all the tiles were stuck on, we then got our Mod Podge, so our sort of glue and water solution, and we painted 2 coats over it to seal it. So we did, and this we probably did over a couple of days. In total it probably took us a week, like we weren't doing it constantly. We did it over a Christmas break one year. The only thing to point out, and the great thing about using magazine tiles as opposed to real tiles, when we came to areas like this where we had like sockets and that, and say behind our utensils here, it was really easy to cut them out and cut them down to size. And we even have in the corner down here, we have like a knife rack thing that's sort of like an oblong shape, and because they were magazines, it was really easy to cut it to size. And this has been up for almost 2 years now, and obviously it's taken a little bit of battering over here by the sink where water splashes, but other than that it's pretty good. I don't wash it, you know, with a sort of a heavily soaked sponge, really light cloth and a tiny little bit of degreaser, because do bear in mind it still is, for all intensive purposes, paper and cardboard. We do have plans to totally remodel our kitchen, hopefully in the coming months. It all comes down to actual time wise. So this will be going soon, but a couple of people asked about it in recent videos. So it's very, very simple to do, very easy to do, and it really, other than buying the glue and a few little small white tester pots, it didn't actually cost us anything. So if you're looking for an inexpensive but high impact way of updating your kitchen, maybe you might consider our magazine tile splashback. Thanks a million for watching, guys. Do give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you've done some really cool funky DIY household projects, I'd love to hear about them. Please do share them with me in the comments below. And thanks again, and do subscribe if this is your first time watching. I really appreciate all those who've done so in the past. Thanks a million.